What's up, you guys? Internet subscribers, people that like my channel, welcome back. It's that time of year. It's football season, so we're getting ready for the first week, and I'm excited. I got fantasy football. I got my Bills playing the Jets, and we're back, right? And what does that mean? What does this mean? It means that Madden is out, Madden 18. And I'm wearing my 2K, my EA Sports hat, right? So why am I wearing my EA Sports hat? Because this is going to be about Madden and EA and where we are with the game. So as all of you out there who watch me, I'm sure you've seen reviews and they're not looking good. I mean, Madden 18 is getting poor reviews from all sorts of people, game changers, game sites, just the community in general. People, I think, like the long shot mode, which is the new story mode that they have. But the overall reception of the game is negative, in my opinion, or slightly negative. And it's definitely not positive, definitely not good. And you know, I'm not going to get into the whole 2K thing and EA thing. Obviously, every time we have a game that a new season starting, we have the debates, same debates. We have the 2K guys, the EA guys, and the guys that are all in between. And the fights start happening, man. People start coming out of their dens and throwing out their shots, and and what I want to say is that I wish Madden was better. I wish EA Sports had a better title. I'm in the middle of the fence where I just want a quality game. And I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. And Lord Destro, Dark Destro, made a video this past day or so about how if we've been playing 2K for too long, does that mean that we're just so comfortable and the habit is for us to play that game, so we have all of the controls and the feeling of the game, and we're so used to that game that anything else that we play, whether it be Madden or Fever or Backbreaker, those games that are not 2K, they automatically become negative or poor games in our minds because we're so used to 2K and it's not 2K. And I think that that's a valid question to ask. I like that video. So shout out to Lord Destro for making that. And you guys should watch it. I'll put a link here below so you can see it. But the question is, why don't we like Madden? And I can tell you from my perspective, I just don't think the game's where it needs to be. You know, I just bought Madden 25 for my kid and I to play, and it was a few dollars at GameStop. And that game actually was a decent game. You know, I think '08 was a good game, solid game, focusing on defense. They had weapons back then, which is somewhat relative to the abilities that we had in APF. And the one thing that Madden is missing, one of the major things it's missing, is player likeness and the ability to play with one running back and him feel different than another one, or throw with a quarterback and then throw differently than someone else. And in APF, they were doing that with the abilities, right? And in Madden '08, they had weapons, so they were starting to go towards that trend, right? Down that trend. And so that's one thing that Madden needs. Every player feels the same. The whole entire game right now is broken, in my opinion. The gameplay is broken, on the field gameplay, which is the one thing that I'm worried about. Franchise mode is the next thing. We want a better franchise mode. We want a deeper franchise mode. If they can focus on that, perfect. That needs to be blown out. But the gameplay is prior to that, right? Gameplay comes first. And they know that. You know, I used to work at EA, and one of the questions in the interview were, what do you think is the most important thing about a game? Is it presentation, graphics, sound, gameplay, blah, blah, blah? And it's gameplay. And they said, yeah, that's what it is. It's gameplay. So they even agree, at least the guys I interviewed with agreed. It's not very hard to determine that that's the most important thing, because that's what you're playing, right? The majority of your time is on the field, depending on how you play the game. And that needs to be tight. If that's not up to par, then the game's going to suffer in every area, because that's going to weight it down, just the way it is. But EA is a business. EA is trying to sell new features. They're trying to sell new options, and they're also trying to compete with other sports games that are not even in their genre, because they're behind, right? They're behind on the career mode. They didn't have a career mode. Long shot is the first time they had an actual legitimate career mode. And that's getting decent reviews, but the people who aren't happy are the ones that see the gameplay suffer. And the fact that they went to a brand new Frostbite engine, and the Frostbite engine is supposed to give them supposedly more flexibility and more options, and maybe they can bring over things that they learned in games like FIFA, and they can add that to Madden. So that should be an improvement. And right now, obviously, they're dealing with the transitional residue, and they're not able to see the full potential of that engine yet, because they just switched it over, and that's going to come with a whole new setback and bugs and issues and things that we're not used to having. And now the game's gotten worse in a lot of ways, right? And that might be the first step towards a better game. I don't know, but people aren't happy. People haven't been happy for a long time. And this video is really just to ask a question to the Sim Standard guys. That's a big part of this video. And I haven't watched their show in a long time. I've watched a couple of the last episodes, because it's that time of year again and things start to get heated about Madden. And I try to, listen in when I can during this time. And one thing that they said in the last video, and I'll put a link to their video here, their last show. One thing that they mentioned was about that they always do, which is, if you don't like the game, then don't buy the game. If you're not happy with the game, then don't buy the game. Go rent the game. Go to GameStop, buy a used game, and do a GameStop rental and bring it back if you're not happy. Which is something that I might do. I might go to GameStop and rent it and then bring it back. But I don't think I'm planning to, because of the reviews that I've seen. And I'm wearing this hat, like I said, because I'm a fan of Madden. I grew up playing Madden, just like a lot of us did. But Madden has not been a quality product for a long time. And the NFL and Madden, but the NFL made their license exclusive. So now they're the only player on the block. So they even have they have added pressure, added criticism. They're magnified, from our perspectives. Anything that they do is totally magnified and criticized, and if they don't make every choice that's perfect, you're gonna hear it, and they should expect to hear that, because they bought the license and they locked it down. So if you're gonna buy that license, you're gonna lock down the community to this one game. You better be ready for some criticism. That goes without saying. And if you don't like the game, you don't have to buy the game. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I don't think anybody should buy the game if they don't like it. Now, there are people that buy it because it's the only game that's being released, so they feel like they have no other choice, so they feel like they have to buy it. And I was buying it every year up to like Madden 15 or so, where I was part of that group. I felt like every year it's the only game out. I need to buy something. I have to buy Madden. I have to buy a football game. I have to get my hands on something. And I would go out and buy a game. And I wouldn't be happy most of the time. And it wasn't the game that fulfilled my, my needs and what I liked in a football game. But it was hard to break that habit because you're always tempted to get it. You hear things, you see things online, you want to play with your team. You want to play with your latest rosters without having to go out and make an entire roster and spend a month and every hour you have building a quality roster. You don't always have time for that. And the games are still old graphics and limited. So you want next gen. You want the new stuff. You want it. I get it. I get it. That's why people go out and buy it. So it's easy to sit here and say, don't buy it. It's hard not to buy it. I personally have, once I broke that habit, I haven't bought one. I've played it on EA Access. If I buy something used down the road, maybe I might buy something, but I don't have Madden. If I look at my games, I don't have Madden 17. I don't have Madden 18. I don't have Madden 16, 15, 14. All I have right now is Madden 25. And then the old Maddens, like the 05 Madden, 06 Madden, not 06, 05, 04, 03, and downward. Because those were decent games. Those were better games. Much better games. And once you break that habit, then you won't buy it anymore. And I don't think you should buy it. If you're not happy, don't buy it, because that's where, like they say in their video, that's where we hit the pockets of EA. If you don't buy the game, you're showing them that you're not happy, right? That's the voice that we have. And that's what gets into my next topic here, which is a question to the Sim Standard guys. They mentioned on their video last Thursday about how we don't have any power. Rex Dixon doesn't have any influence. His boss doesn't have any influence. I mean, it's the executives, it's the stakeholders, it's the people that are playing the golf, right? Doing the business deals on the golf course, like the one guy, Dub, said. I think it wasn't their show. He made a good point. It's like the guys who are eating the steak dinners and the guys who are out on the boat and the yachts and the Lear jets and the G4, G1, whatever. They're out and they're making their decisions up there. It's not the developer's fault. They're probably very talented guys. Rex Dixon, it's not his fault. I have my issues with him for the trash talking he did to 2K and the way that he handles himself sometimes. I don't really think that, you know, he makes the right decisions sometimes, but he has no control. He has no power. He's just part of the machine. He's being told what to do. He's being dictated what to do. They have development directors and development managers that are all just puppets, just managing these different teams that are saying, okay, here's your objective, go make long shot. Here's your objective, go improve the MUT experience, go improve online, go maybe work on some of the new Frostbite engine, right? Go work on the new Frostbite engine. And these guys have the directives and they're off. The creative freedom, from what it sounds like, is not there. And 2K seems like it has a lot more. With Mike Wang and OG, they've gone back and forth, and that seems like they have a lot more freedom, right? And what I'm saying is that in the Sim Standard video, they talk about how they're here to represent the community, and they're going to EA because they're our voice, and they're trying to make changes and blah, blah, blah. And I appreciate that. You know, it takes a lot of time and effort, and whatever their agendas are, they may be trying to go and work for EA. They may be trying to get on their payroll. They may be there just to experience what it is to be behind the scenes and have that cool experience. They may be there to network. They may be there to just play the game early. They may be there to get a trip out to Orlando, whatever it might be. Fine, do what you got to do. I don't have any problem with that. My only issue is if you guys say on your show, that's very, very simple and very intuitive. You're almost a little bit condescending to people that they're not smart enough, that they don't get. And I'm sure some people don't understand it. That the suits call the shots and there's nobody underneath that has power, especially game changers. So if you're telling us that you basically don't have any power, you have no influence, you have no say, then how are we as your fans, as the community, supposed to believe that anything that you do there is going to make a difference? The only difference we can make is to not buy the game. That I agree with. I'm down for that. Don't buy the game. Do not buy it if you're not happy. That shows that we're not happy, and maybe they might start listening. I don't know. And maybe that's why you go every year to just for the hope that they'll listen. And I've gone to EA to do some testing. I used to work at EA as a QA tester. I've put feedback. I was the last guy to leave the room. I put all the feedback I could. I think it was Madden 16. And I told them how I feel about the game. And I gave them a very quality review of the game. And I don't know if they're going to listen. They probably won't listen, and that's fine. I went there to get a few free games and give it to, people on my site. But the point is that if you don't think that you're going to make a difference, if you don't think that you have power, that you have influence, then I think as part of the community, to your own fans, you should tell us why you guys go, why you guys continue to be part of that group. Why? Just would like to know. And if you say it's because anything other than that you're going to make the game better, that you're going to make an influence, that you're going to make a change, if you could say anything else, cool. No problem, no respect. But if you're going to tell us that you're going there because you are going to change the game, then that doesn't jive. Doesn't make sense. You're telling us on your own that you have no power. So then why would you think that you can make a change? So that's my video. Shout out to everybody in the community. Sim Standard guys, much respect. But that doesn't make any sense. I think you guys owe us an answer on that. And shout out to all you guys in the community, Marauder, Lord Destro, Nef1, NY Kia, which I really don't know you at all, but I've seen you a lot in the videos. SimF Ball Critic, shout out, bro. No problem. We're good, man. We're good. Smitty, I got your back. Azure, cool, whatever. We don't really talk, but you're a cool cat, man. And, the entire community, there's a lot of people out there. Ryan Moody, big one, right? A lot of guys out there, I'm forgetting people's names, but there are a lot of guys out there who want a quality game. Damon Groh wanted a quality game, right? But even he had to come to the business, and all you guys, good luck this year with the NFL. Hopefully we can get our fix with some football game, whether it be an old one creating rosters or the new ones, whatever you want, go for it. But this question is to you, Sim Standard. Why do you go? All right, I'm out. With that, I'm out. Peace. Have a great season, and talk to you next time.